Hey everybody, GameHounds podcast. All right, I'm going to do this because I forgot to do it last week because we keep forgetting. We're just going to do this now, all right? Like the old days. Okay?
Okay.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these
It's Walter
podcasters
Freeman.
have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now.
It's Walter Brimley, actually.
Yeah,
and
no,
your mom
legally
said to
deceased
take
Walter
out the
Freeman.
trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 780. We're recording this on Sunday, May 4th, 2024. May the 4th be with you, Nick.
Yeah, I feel like all the Star Wars news came out like several weeks ago. There's
Yeah,
nothing. There's nothing on the 4th.
No,
It
really
kind of
isn't.
feels like.
But May the 4th. And remember, tomorrow is Revenge of the 5th.
Oh yeah, you could actually go see that in theaters.
I know they brought it back.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna watch. What's the Kurosawa movie that was the inspiration for A New Hope?
It could be a bunch of them.
Yeah, I forget which one it is, but we're gonna watch it tonight at home before we go to bed. And we do a movie a night.
Okay. There's a new season of this show coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've recommended it to you before, and I don't think you've watched it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really good. The Devil's Plan is like a Korean reality game show on Netflix. It is like if you took the scheming and plotting and like the intelligent cat and mouse games of Death Note and you made it into a reality show that somehow fucking works on every level. You're like, somehow all the stars aligned and like the alliances that are formed are like, oh God, oh come on,
I cannot stand reality shows though.
It's so good. It's so good because there's constant mysteries. It's like people collect these pieces. It's like, oh, if you win this competition, you get these like little discs, and these are like the currency you can use to gain an advantage. And then as you go on, people like, there's something with these discs. There's something with them, and there's a larger mystery at play here, and it manages to like all come to a head in the perfect way that you would like. I cannot believe this wasn't scripted.
All right, so I'm pulling. Oops, hold on a second. I am pulling up. All right, so this is an actual reality show.
Yes,
that is on Netflix. All right.
I think this is probably
Big Brother.
Looks like a trailer for the second season.
Okay. So half of the low-ranking players. This is a residential area. This is the death room. Instant elimination. Okay, all right. So apparently it's like a Big Brother in the house.
Kind of, except you get eliminated by losing games. And the games are like these guys, these are all fucking smart people. Like these are the smartest people. The games are like, okay, we're going to play poker, except you have to do math like for every single poker hand. Or we're going to have all these, like, these people are geniuses.
Mm-hmm.
And so that gives it a very different flavor than other reality shows, because you do have that like interpersonal politicking, but like no one's an asshole because they're all nice people and they're all super smart people, but they still are like, well, I want to, like, these are my people, this is my team, so I'm gonna work with them. Yeah, it is a different type of reality show that you're like, oh my God, I wish more shows were like this.
Okay. All right. I mean, I just see this does not really appeal to me, but okay. But I'm not watching it this week.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying the second season was coming out. Me and Rachel are both really excited because, God, that last season, just like I said, the larger mystery and the fact that you're watching these people put together this larger mystery and like, oh my God, this is fantastic. The way that it kind of ebbs and flows and twists. Oh, AC Wraith says Twitch is lagging horribly, both with commercials and the actual stream. I'm listening through YouTube for once.
Oh,
That
okay.
sounds like a Twitch problem, not
Yeah.
us. Because
Yeah.
look, for once, both of our streams are good.
Yeah.
We're fine here.
I know. I actually restarted the modem before we started. So, anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, house is done. Well, bathroom is done. Bathroom is done. I can move in. So the first thing I did instantly, because of tariffs right now, is I bought my refrigerator because next week it's gonna that $1,200 refrigerator is gonna be a $3,500 refrigerator.
I also bought something.
Yeah.
Not just because of tariffs, though that's probably a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we can get into this is like a tease for news later.
Right.
Microsoft increased prices on everything.
Everything.
There were rumors that later this year, Xbox was going to put out like a Xbox branded handheld with Asus,
Right.
and it would be like a kind of dedicated Xbox branded gaming device. And I've been ever since I got the Odin, I've been wanting like a higher end handheld, and I wanted to wait to see what that would be. Well, after they jacked up the prices, I figured there's no point in waiting. So I don't need your Steam Deck anymore. I got a Rogue
Okay, well,
Ally.
Yep.
I haven't done much with it because this still requires some setup, but fuck, man, this thing is giant.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is fucking huge.
Yeah. Is this a Rogue Ally?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is not mine. This is Chris's.
Yeah, that thing is
they're very big.
gigantic.
Yeah, but this is about the size of the Steam Deck. Steam Deck was this is actually smaller than a Steam Deck.
Is it really?
Mhm.
Well, I also
Steam
got
Deck
the
was
Rogue.
big. I can't believe I lost it because I mean it's so damn hard to miss.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing around with that, especially because now that opens up a world of PC games.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, and I'm just putting this out there, I'm trying to manifest this into the world. Unless Microsoft raise the prices on top of soon removing my Windows 10 security for force upgrade I can't afford. Yeah.
I mean, I'll read this out a little bit more legibly for the listeners. How nice of Microsoft to raise prices on top of soon removing my Windows 10 security for a forced upgrade I can't afford. Yeah, no, that's a real thing, and I'm pissed that I'm being forced to go to Windows 11 because Windows 11 sucks. Just sucks.
I recently got a new work laptop, and it has Windows 11, and I had to spend at least a couple hours a day. Okay, got to change this setting, bring this back. How does this? Oh God, Windows Explorer looks like shit now. How do I fix that? Notepad doesn't work the same. How do I uninstall that? Install an old version of Notepad on top of it.
Yeah, Outlook is the hot mess, and I need to get Outlook 10.
Outlook was okay because they still have like a use the old Outlook.
Right, but if you use new Outlook, the Windows 11 Outlook, it keeps like asking its default is the other thing. So I actually found a Windows 10 version of Outlook.
Oh,
that
nice.
I've downloaded. So I can hit it and it will upgrade to 11 if I want, but when I load, it natively loads into the 10 version.
Yeah. And it's like it's all the little things because I would hit Alt Tab, and you know how you can like group windows on the side? If you group one and it sticks to the side and you group something next to it, when you Alt Tab, that then becomes a group, and that's like a new thing in there. Or by default, Alt Tabbing would include all of the tabs open in your browsers.
Right.
And I'm one of those sickos who has a lot of tabs open.
Yeah.
So Alt Tab, and all of a sudden it's a full screen. And it's like, oh Jesus, I can't do this. So just had to go into the settings, find everything.
Yeah. Undo everything that you possibly can. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and Microsoft keeps insisting it's like, well, they're such Luddites, they won't, evolve. It's like, no, I mean, there's a reason why everybody doesn't want to go to 11 because 11 sucks.
Well,
A fun fact. I mean, no, I can't say that. I'll tell you a story about Windows 10 and Crystal Dynamics.
okay.
And Microsoft, actually, more it's the initiative, Microsoft and the initiative. I will tell you about that.
Well, what I
But
was
off
going to
air
say,
because I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
what are they going to do? Fire him?
No, but I mean, it does reflect poorly. So,
I was saying though, since I got the Rogue Ally,
mhm,
I can play some PC games,
mhm,
and I know you've been playing on PC more.
mhm,
Chaos plays on PC,
mhm,
and it just so happens that there is a big budget co-op game coming out at the end of this month.
mhm.
We could all play it together.
Talking about Clay Obscure.
No,
What?
Elden Ring.
Nope. It's you, Chris, and
Come on.
you, Chris, and Chaos. I am not. No.
You can come join us for the fun. It's your duty
No.
as a game talker
Absolutely.
podcaster.
No. Anyway, what have you been playing this week?
Well, nice of you to mention Expedition 33.
Mhm.
I started that
Okay.
just a couple nights ago, and
It is getting, oh my God, amazing reviews.
That's also, we can talk about that in the news.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell you, it lives up to it.
Oh, really?
At least the first couple hours that I'm like a solid 6 hours or so into it. And Jesus Christ, this thing takes you on a fucking roller coaster for the first couple hours.
Really?
Like, it's insane. The beginning is a prologue. So if you don't know the premise, this takes place in like a kind of fantasy version of Paris, in which the city has kind of been broken off from the world. There's something happened in the past called the Shattering, where like the world broke and Paris was thrown into the ocean. Way, way far on the horizon, there's a giant rock with this like woman in front of it. And every year she paints a number on that rock, and anyone older than that dies. So it starts off at 100. Then the next year comes around and it's 99. Next year comes 98. And
So
so on
it's
and so
not
forth.
a random. It's a
countdown.
countdown.
But what that means is this society has been living with yearly mass death.
Yeah, culling.
It takes place. Expedition 33 is the 33rd number. So they've been doing this for like 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the prologue is you getting ready for one of these callings. And so as you're going around talking with people, you can see that this has kind of become this tradition in the world, because everyone knows I'm 34. The moment it counts down to 33, I'm gone. So everyone knows what's coming. And so you see a society that kind of has grown up around this and how different people accept it. Some people are like, I just want to make the most of the last year of my life. Other people want to join the expedition to sail out to try to confront the paintress and stop this. Other people just want to get drunk. Some people want to have kids because, well, it's still time to have kids. Other people are like, why would you do that? Why would you bring someone into this doomed world? And it does such a good job painting this society. And then it builds up to that expedition of, okay, we're coming out here. We are launching into this. And like, by the time the title card hits, that prologue, did you ever see The Leftovers on HBO?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly one of the greatest television dramas ever made.
Yes.
It's like that. Like, you're basically seeing the video game equivalent of The Leftovers. And then the title card hits, and if you're not fully invested at that point, I don't know what to say, because the writing is so good, the premise is so interesting, and then you get into the game. And it surprised me, like what happens when they land. I don't know if you want me to get into it. It's not necessarily a
No.
spoiler.
No.
Um,
We don't need to get that much into it. But
but
bottom
like,
line is it's
okay, bottom line, what's really interesting is that when you get to this continent, at first it feels like a genuine hellscape. But then what you realize is, oh, it's not hell. It's a world in which people are at the bottom of the food chain.
oh, okay.
It's a world in which we are actually like ants, where, you look at an ant colony, they have a thriving society, and then they leave that into the world, and we just go, oh, you ant, squish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, imagine that is the world you step into.
Right.
And it's like, holy shit. So, but at the same time, the world is beautiful. Like, it's a stunning, beautiful, bizarre place. One of the first areas you go into is like this underwater land, but you're not underwater. It's just, as you walk, you kind of seaweed starts sprouting from the ground around you. And all of a sudden, you just kind of like bubbles in the air, and squids and fish flying around. And you're like, I'm underwater, except I didn't actually go underwater. So it's a really bizarre, interesting fantasy land. And I want so desperately to see what happens next. Like, the story is so interesting. The world is so weird. I have to see what happens next. And the characters are all incredibly well realized. It does such a good job of expressing a lot through a little bit of dialogue, and using the implications of things to kind of create depth instead of just having exposition over exposition over exposition. It says a few things and then lets the implication of more hang in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's just good writing. As for the game itself, people have called this a JRPG, even though it was developed in France, and it is super French. Like, people are going around. It takes place in Paris. The characters are all French, lots of French names. When things go wrong, they always go merde, merde. But it's structured like Metaphor, Refantasio. It's structured like a Persona game in the way that dungeons work. And I remember saying, as I was playing Metaphor, this kind of feels like a Dark Souls game in the way that you kind of have a save point and you venture out into the dungeon, you explore it, you fight some guys, you level up, but you can always come back to that save point if you get really hurt to like rest and recharge. That's how this game is structured, except it's kind of even more so like Dark Souls, but not part of it is in the difficulty, but really it's about stripping away all the excess. So like items, you don't really collect a whole bunch of items. Instead, the way items work is you have a healing potion, you have a revive potion, and you have like one of each, and you can use them in battle, and that's it. But when you get to a resting point, they recharge. So it's less about amassing, and as you explore, you can find, new health potions, new revive potions. In the same way that the healing works in Dark Souls, it's less about amassing 99 potions, and more about, well, I have 2 potions. When do I want to use them? So that's really interesting. And then there's a whole real-time action element to the combat. And depending on the difficulty you put it on, you can emphasize or de-emphasize that. But as you watch them play, you see these little QuickTime events come up. That is when you're attacking. You get this little QuickTime event, and if you press X at the right time, you do extra damage. More importantly, though, when the enemy attacks, you can parry or dodge those attacks, just like in a Souls-like. The dodge window is much more forgiving than the parry window. So the game even says, hey, when someone attacks, try to dodge it because that window is much more forgiving. If you get a perfect dodge and you can consistently get a perfect dodge, that timing is the same as the parry. So if you're getting a perfect dodge, try parrying. And if you dodge an attack, it misses you completely. You get no damage. So in theory, you could fight a super difficult boss and not get hit once if you're really good at dodging. With the parrying, if you parry all of the attacks in a combo, or like if there's one big attack and you parry, you will counterattack and do a tremendous amount of damage. So there's this sort of real-time Souls-like element to it that kind of adds to the strategy. But what's interesting is, as I'm playing it, some of the dodging and timing window can be tough, but it's not absolutely necessary. And after coming from First Berserker Kazan, I have found that, okay, the timing is, I can get this. It's less about, this timing is really strict, and more about these fucking enemies and their wind up. They go, and it's like, you motherfucker, you hold it there for like 5 seconds. And I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for them to go. It's like, you're just sitting there. And it's like a, mind game. Are you going to attack? When are you going to attack? You've been holding that pose for like 2 seconds and you haven't attacked yet. What do you do? Oh, you attacked me. And then I got hit. So it's just a matter of like learning the timing for all that. But the RPG-ness, the battle system itself is really, really interesting because each character has their own system. Each character has like their own abilities. This girl we're looking at right here, she has stances, and how did Jupiter leave?
Did he leave?
He's on the other side of the door now. Anyways, okay. She has stances, and so different attacks will put her in different stances, and those give her more abilities. If she does one attack, that puts her in an offensive position, and that means she does more damage, but she also takes more damage. If she does a different move, she's in a defensive stance where she takes less damage. Or if you do a certain number of moves, that puts her in a virtuous stance where she does 200% more damage. And so for her, it's a lot of, okay, how do I set it up? Do I want to put her in a defensive position, or do I want to set it up to put her into a more advanced position? One of the moves she has is she'll attack, and if the target is burning, she enters the virtuous stance. Well, it's like, okay, I have this other character who can set people on fire. Or I've got these extra pictos, these like extra things I can equip on a character. That means their attack can set people on fire. So I'm going to kind of set my team up in a way so that the first 2 people set the enemy on fire. Then it's her turn. She attacks, enters the virtuous stance, so that when it's next her turn, she can unleash a really strong move. And it's the fact that that's just one element in it. And that you can kind of set your party up to like take advantage of so many different things, so many different aspects of the combat. It feels incredibly versatile. And that's just one character. The other characters each have their own quirks, their own abilities, their own strategies. And so finding ways to make all those different strategies work together is what RPGs are all about, right? It's creating that synergy, creating that party, tinkering with your characters and going, I want you to do this, then you can do this, and you can do this. And it just feels really good to come up with a party composition that just lets you wipe the floor with a boss. You fight a boss and it's like, oh, I beat you, and like all my characters still have like 75% of their health left. I
Right.
kicked this boss's ass. It's Dark Souls in RPG form, in that it gives you that satisfaction of beating this hard thing, but it doesn't have that difficulty of Dark Souls, right? It's not that kind of. It's really
Brutal.
not the brutality, and it's really not as twitchy, even though there is that real time aspect to it. Like, if you dodge every other attack and you just have like a well composited, well put together team, like
Composed.
well composed team, like you can do really well. And yeah, it's really fun combat, incredibly written characters, a brilliant premise, weird world, wonderful graphics. Like everything about this game so far is like hitting every cylinder.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks fun. I don't see why I might be interested in playing it, and I have absolutely no desire to ever touch Dark Souls. So
Yeah,
this
I
kind
look,
of like feels that somewhere in the middle
yeah,
of that.
and you can put it on story mode, which just like limits the like the damage, right? It's like, hey, the real time aspects will still be there, and if you want, if you put on story mode and you start playing and you're like, I've got this timing down, you can adjust the difficulty. Like you can change the difficulty at any time. So if you
That's
start
what
hard, start medium, and you're like, actually, I just want to see what's going on in this really interesting story, there's no punishment for changing around.
right.
I like AC Wraith says the battle system probably has so many quick time events because they killed the old people with slow reflexes.
It's everything you said it was, and more. Everybody's saying it is. Everything everybody is saying it is, and more.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I might be interested in it, but I am still busy playing Crusader Kings 3, which I was playing today. I all I did was run around and collect mushrooms today.
Wait, Crusader Kings or Kingdom Come?
Sorry. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Sorry. Kingdom Come Deliverance. All I did was run around and collect mushrooms.
And collect mushrooms. Oh, wait. I was going to take a sip of coffee and I realized
Oh,
these are the final 3.
cucumber.
Cucumber?
No, you were gonna take a sip of coffee. Why don't you take a sip of coffee?
Oh, geez. Okay.
It probably tastes like root beer. So
Sorry,
yeah,
go
Kingdom
on.
Come
Yeah,
Deliverance
collecting
2.
mushrooms.
I did find out that there is a neat trick to kind of it's a exploit to level up your strength, your agility, your stealth, and something else all at once.
That's
And
a
also get
lot.
XP. And what it is you overload yourself, and then you can stealth. There's a pig at the what's the old herbalist woman's name?
Oh, I don't remember at
Sarusha?
all. The one who saves you in the beginning.
Yes, her
Yeah.
house. She has a pig that's in the area that's kind of a loose pig, but it's her pig. As long as you didn't kill that pig. If you stealth behind that pig and around that pig, just essentially stealth with everything on your back, it levels up all 4.
So the sneaking by the pig counts
Sneaking by
as
the pig.
stealth.
Yeah.
That's
It's a little
funny.
bug with that pig. And no, nothing else, just that pig.
Oh, really? So it's not animals. It's just that pig for
That
some reason.
pig. That pig
Oh,
and that pig alone.
weird,
Yeah.
but funny.
Yeah. The other thing I didn't know about is, there's the Bane potion that if you get really good at it, you can make Henry's Bane potion, which is just like over the top.
Yeah.
There's also the Fox potion, which is an XP potion, and Henry's Fox potion is actually 50% extra XP. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, I'm still dawdling along in it, and I'm perfectly fine with dawdling along. I don't need to, it's at this point, I'm not, anywhere near the point of where I'm going to be able to, say that I completed it in a decent amount of time, but
I mean, that's what's fun, is that it's a world.
Mhm.
And part of the fun of that game is just inhabiting that world.
Right. Right. And I can now play a little bit more of it, I hope, because I don't know if I mentioned it before the show or after the show. The bathroom's done. I can move in. I can
Yes.
go back. Oh yes, and I bought a refrigerator because even though I don't need it right now, I bought the refrigerator that I'm going to need it eventually because tariffs are going to make it a $3,000 refrigerator instead of a $1,200 refrigerator. So I
Yeah,
bought
buy
it
it
now.
now. Buy it now.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, by this time next week, I may actually be podcasting from my house. Who knows?
Okay.
All right. So have you got any other games you want to talk about?
Just dip a little bit back into First Berserker Kazan, and that game is still just, it just feels good to play.
Mhm.
I want to play more Expedition 33. That's kind of the thing that will be my main game, but God, First Berserker just feels really good. And it's such a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a conflicting game, because every time I fight a boss the first time, I just get my ass handed to me so badly that I think this is bullshit. This boss like spews fire. Every time I block, I get plague infected on me. This boss is bullshit. And then I fight him again and again and again. And I'm like, okay, I see how this timing works. I can
Mhm.
block this move. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to find him again and again. And now I'm not getting plague anymore. And now I'm not getting set on fire anymore. I'm dodging all these moves. And then eventually I beat him. And I'm like, I'm going to beat you again because I want some loot. And I'll beat it again and I get some loot. And then I beat him again. And I'm like, you motherfucker, I've got your number. And then I move on to the next boss who just completely beats the shit out of me. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
Started over again.
This is bullshit. I thought I was good. I have been humbled. And so it is a game of extremes.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying that one too, but it doesn't surprise me that you're still, trying to
Yeah.
get to Clair Obscur.
That is First Berserker is not a game you would like.
I can tell.
Expedition 33, perhaps, yes.
Yeah.
First Berserker, no. That's a sickos like me.
All right, so moving right along, because I don't want this to be another 3.5 hour podcast. Do you want to hit the news?
Yeah.
We have a lot of news to talk about, so let's hit the news. The GameHounds news and commentary that we've been making, Radiant Koa, and our first item is
Sounded a little weird.
yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
But big news, like we had mentioned before, Xbox just made everything more expensive immediately.
Yeah, big time.
So let me find exactly the details. So they increased the price of consoles by about $80 each.
Mm-hmm.
And so that basically makes the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte version $730,
Oh God.
which means it's it's not 5 years old. Yeah, 5 years old. Came out in 2020. A 5-year-old console is now officially more expensive than the PS5 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when the PS5 Pro came out and everyone was like, this is too expensive?
Yeah.
Microsoft said, hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so here's your prices.
Yeah, the Series S, the super cheap one, went from 300 to 380, which is not insignificant at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, $80 across the board. When you count in tax, it's basically $100 increase.
Yeah. Yeah, the 2 terabyte Galaxy Black got from $599 to $729.
Yeah,
That's $130.
it's crazy. And like this coming from the company that is like, our hardware is selling so poorly that we're going to we need to buy Activision Blizzard to stay in the game, and we're going to put in this emphasis on cloud gaming and anything is an Xbox because no one wants an Xbox.
Right.
And so it feels like, well, you're just giving up, aren't you? This is officially Xbox getting out of the hardware game.
Right. Also, game prices are going to rise from holiday 2025 with some new first-party Xbox games costing $79.99.
Yep. So this doesn't apply to like third-party games like Ubisoft or EA, but let's be honest, they will follow suit.
Absolutely.
And yeah, this is Microsoft saying, so Doom Eternal, which comes out this month, will likely still be $70 because they specifically say holiday. So I imagine this is probably going to apply to things coming out from September onward, that those games for Xbox will now be $80. And I'll be curious to see how long it takes Sony to follow suit, because they've already said their big end of year game, Ghost of Yotai, is $70. Like they've already announced that price for it. But
Yeah.
how long will they keep it there?
Yeah, tariffs are absolutely kind of hammering us, and right now they're only going to get worse. By the way, did you hear that Temu is no longer shipping to the United States?
Yeah.
Both Temu and Shein. So if you've got kids and they need clothes for September, like the new coming school year, you might want to buy them now.
Yeah.
Just saying.
AC Ray
Especially shoes. Especially shoes.
AC Ray says they'll spend the extra money on layoff notices.
Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of layoff notices, let's go over all of the layoffs.
Well, wait, Rick has said is this where I get the $900 line of credit to buy 3 months of Xbox Live?
Yeah. No, this is where you get the home equity line of credit to buy an Xbox.
So, okay, actually, I did have one thing to say. I think the reason Microsoft is like, yeah, we're going to raise these prices and we're going to raise the prices on games, and they're perfectly okay with that, because I'll bet in their mind that will drive people to Game Pass, right?
Possibly.
The more expensive each individual game gets, the more attractive their streaming service
That
becomes.
is not a bad conspiracy theory. That actually,
right?
That it's only a conspiracy if you're crazy. I think you might very well be right, because it does make a very compelling case
because
for
things they wrote where they
Fire
raised
Stick
the price.
and the I've got literally what you got me, the Fire Stick in the back of the thing, and the controller, which was like $100. Now it'll be like $150, $200.
Yeah, because they raised the price on everything except Game Pass.
Yeah, you're right. This is very much lemonade for them. They're making lemonade.
Now, also, to be fair, they probably rose the price on the things that are affected by the tariffs, and Game Pass is not affected by the tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, there is a logic that way, but shut up. I'm applying to my conspiracy.
I think that's not so much a conspiracy theory.
That's
Random Rick review says time to buy that Stadia system off Temu before it's too late. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and he also points out that Game Pass has gotten better. Yeah, it is. Game Pass is actually a really good deal. How many games have I not purchased because I have them on Game Pass? A lot.
I mean, I will say, you have that stick that I gave you. Guess what is on Game Pass? Expedition 33.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's even more compelling for me to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place for me to find games that I really don't like before I buy them.
It's a place for me to find games that I go, this is good, I should play this, and then not play it.
Right. It's essentially turns into Valve. Turns into Steam. Yeah. All right. So yes, I was saying, speaking of layoffs in the industry, let's go over them. First off, EA has axed 300 workers to this just like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
All of them pretty much from from the Titanfall game. They were working on a Titanfall game.
Yeah. And what kills me about this is that there was talk about how it wasn't in active development. It was an incubation project.
Yes.
Basically, they were like working to figure out what can we do next. But just like from a larger company standpoint, if when you cancel your incubation project, you lay off everyone who was working on that, how do you make your next game?
Right.
And to me, that basically says Respawn.
Is
Respawn
not
is
making
making the Jedi games and they make Apex Legends. To EA, that is all they're good for. They're like, hey, we're going to put you on Apex Legends and we will whip you until you die.
Right. You are
You
going to be
cannot
making
make
Apex
anything
Legends
else.
until you leave this company.
Yeah,
There's
like
absolutely nothing else you will do.
if they're canceling incubation, then firing those people, it's
Right.
basically like, well, you're cutting off this company at the knees and preventing them from like being able to create new things in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. It's let's see. This was initially reported by Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, so you know it's 1000% true.
Yeah.
They laid off 100 Respawn Entertainment employees. Quote, and this is their quote. EA's quote. As part of our continued focus on our long-term strategic priorities, we made select changes within our organization that more effectively aligns teams and allocates resources in service of driving future growth. It Respawn also right afterwards posted its own comment, and I will bring it up here so you can see it, and it's going to be right here in like 10 seconds. No, yes, that's it. There it is. There you go. Respawn at Respawn, bold ideas, creative risks, and passionate storytelling have always defined who we are. That spirit has carried us through incredible highs, sometimes through difficult changes too. Blah 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 blah. We've just made the decision to step away from two early stage incubation projects and make some targeted team adjustments across Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. These decisions aren't easy, and we're deeply grateful to every teammate affected. For Apex Legends, that means not just delivering competitive, innovative seasons, but expanding what Apex can be. For Star Wars Universe, we're excited to keep building new stories with next chapters of Star Wars Jedi series aiming to raise the bar again for storytelling and gameplay.
So okay, wait. That paragraph on Apex Legends, we're expanding what Apex can be. Was it? They're exploring bold experiences that push the boundaries of competitive play while staying true to the spirit of competition. Like
creativity and integrity that our community expects.
That sounds like what they were working on. That sounds like the incubation project that got canceled.
Yeah. But it's not. The incubation project that got canceled was a Titanfall extraction shooter.
But Titanfall is Apex Legends. They're in the same universe.
That's true.
And so this feels like someone at Respawn thought, hey, what if we made an Apex Legend extraction shooter? And they're like, okay, yeah, let's test that out. Oh, no, we're going to cancel that. It's like, well, our goal is to expand what Apex can be, but you also just kneecapped what Apex
right.
can
That's
be.
wasn't that what you just fired everyone that they
Yeah.
were working on? Exactly that.
So like, what the hell else are you doing?
Yeah. So anyway, that happened, and it sucks.
EA feels like a company that is kind of largely confused about what it wants to do. Like, it's got the sports money coming in, but beyond that, it doesn't know what to do with BioWare. It doesn't know what to do with Respawn.
Mhm.
It doesn't know what to do with any of its
And
single
this is
player
the second. Remember, this is the
things.
second Titanfall project that's been canceled.
Yeah,
The other one, they had another one that was canceled in 2023.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
And
EA just
meanwhile,
loves killing Titanfall.
yeah. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice, EA executives continue to get fantastic bonuses and income. Eurogamer, if you'll remember, noted back in 2024 that those on the highest rungs of the company, including the C-suiters, collectively made $60 million last year among layoffs. While they were doing layoffs, their top executives
Yeah.
collected $60 million.
We can't pay you because we're paying us.
Right. Exactly. Doesn't work
Yeah.
that way. Yeah. Welcome to, end stage,
Late stage capitalism.
late stage capitalism. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say end stage cancer. It kind of the same thing. Wishy-washy. Little bit of this, little bit of that.
Like, yeah.
Also, in other layoff news, and this should be surprising absolutely no one, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta have
Oh, yeah.
axed 100 people from Reality Labs. That is the company's unit that was working on essentially the Oculus.
The metaverse.
The metaverse. Oculus, the metaverse, AR, VR, that kind of stuff. So that's their in-house VR content divisions. And the employees that they were fired were not only people that were working on hardware, but the fitness app that they have called Supernatural.
Okay, like, look, okay, fucking hell. Like, no one in their right mind would exercise with any VR headset. I don't care which one you have. Even if it's the most comfortable thing in the world, it's still like at least a 1 pound thing on your face while you're jumping jacks, while you're lifting weights, while you're doing yoga. Like, I don't want to sweat with a thing on my face.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
So, Supernatural is not something that they created organically.
Corey Wallace, are we sure that they are real people, not just AR?
Good point. They did not create Supernatural organically at Reality Labs. They actually purchased it in 2021. It was a subscription-based fitness app. They acquired it for $400 million.
Jesus. Yeah, Zuckerberg really had a hard-on for the metaverse, and none of that panned out.
So Facebook post says, we're deeply saddened to share that these changes have resulted in the loss of some of our incredibly talented team members. Oh, it's so unfortunate that happened. I mean, oops. Their contributions have been instrumental in shaping our journey and yours, and their absence will be deeply felt. You make it sound like they got hit by a car, not fired by you.
Yeah.
These layoffs are not the only ones that are happening at Meta. Earlier this year, they had a 5% cut to their entire workforce across Meta, not just the metaverse, about 3,600 employees. So now we're up to, 4,000 people.
So okay. If Meta is no longer working on the metaverse, are they going to change the name again?
That's a good point.
Like, they were Facebook until Facebook became a curse word. Then they became Meta, but now Meta is kind of a curse word. Yeah. No one cares about the metaverse.
They keep trashing. They're a bit like the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. They keep on coming up with a new name, shitting on it, and then moving to a new name, leaving it for somebody else to pick up and take care of.
Yeah.
And all of this is happening. Actually, there's an internal memo right about the time that the 5% of the workforce was being axed. And then, of course, now another 100 employees. It was an internal memo that was leaked where Mark Zuckerberg said Meta has strayed from its masculine energy, and he vowed to raise the bar on performance management.
All of the
says the guy who bought this company and then did the metaverse, essentially single-handedly put out a video that destroyed any possibility of the metaverse ever working, and created a vision and put his whole heart and soul into it that lost $5 billion in the fourth quarter of last year.
Yeah.
Let us talk about performance-based management.
Yeah, he was
Whose
the one.
Performance are we marking this against? Yours?
He pushed for the metaverse.
He pushed for the metaverse.
So much so that he changed the name of the company.
Right. Yeah. and then proceeded to create, lest we forget Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse video that
Yeah,
pretty much
yes.
sealed the deal that no one would ever, made it the laughing stock of technology.
Yeah.
It was yeah. Let's talk about the bar of performance management.
All of these tech CEOs, they've basically locked themselves into positions where they can't get fired because they have the majority of shares or like the board of directors or their buddies.
Yves Guillemot, let's not forget.
Yeah.
Yves
And
Guillemot,
so
very good
they
at that.
just kind of they had one good idea that made the company, but then they just keep fucking things up over and over again. But because they're in this unimpeachable position of power, they're just the fuck up continues over and over and over again.
Let's not forget the fact that they're, I mean, a lot of people have said that Mark Zuckerberg didn't really steal the idea didn't steal Facebook from someone. Considering how poorly he has run the things that he's created since Facebook, it's hard to argue that he was part of Facebook's creation.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody that has that good an idea doesn't ever have just one. And if somebody has just one and then every subsequent one is like, what the fuck? You got to wonder. Tesla is a perfectly good example. Don't get me wrong. I am no fan of Elon Musk right now, but he created SunPower.
Created. Right? He bought Tesla from he bought Tesla from its founders, and part of the purchase was that they could no longer call themselves founders, that he was called the founder.
Right. But before that, he founded a very successful, what eventually became a very successful solar panel company.
Okay.
Used that money to acquire Tesla, turned that into a wildly good company for EVs, essentially made the EV market single-handedly created the market for EVs. And then used that money to go to space. And it works. It actually works. Is it ever going to make money? Probably not. But it's a successful space company. See, that's somebody who actually did make what he did, because people that are geniuses have more than one idea.
Well,
that's what tells me Mark Zuckerberg stole Facebook, because he hasn't had a good idea since. He acquired a bunch of things. He acquired WhatsApp. He acquired Instagram. Acquired all of these other things. But that's not coming up with the idea.
Oh, no.
He hasn't made any. The only things that he has made organically have been wild failures. Expensive wild failures.
And look, whatever you can say about Musk, I think he peaked a while ago.
Yeah.
He's on the downfall at the moment.
Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg, epic rap battles of history.
Okay, the epic rap battles of history are awesome. Have you not seen these before?
I have.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're so good.
Yep.
I think there was one that was like Darth Vader versus Hitler. That's
awesome.
Perfect.
AC Ray says if they change the name, they change the meta, which then makes meta relevant again.
Oh, you're playing 40 chess.
Oh, yeah. And Random Rick Review says, I'm just waiting for the next PlayStation home. Honestly, that was the problem. He should have seen. I mean, the moment I saw that video, it's like it's PlayStation Home. And did you not know how badly that went? How expensively badly that went? And you essentially recreated. You did absolutely everything the PlayStation Home had.
I had forgotten about PlayStation Home.
Yeah, I didn't. As soon as I saw the metaverse, it was like, oh, that's PlayStation Home. I mean, you go in and you play little games with each other, and and when you went in and there's nobody there, if there are, they're just kind of standing around doing nothing.
I think I loaded that up like one time.
Yeah.
And then there was nothing to do there, and I thought, why am I here?
Welcome to the metaverse. That's exactly what the metaverse was. And it's like, how did you not know? Did you not do any market research on, like, if you're going to do this, you're going to create a product very similar to something else that's already been created and failed? Maybe you should examine what they did and try to fix what they did and do it right. But no, we're just going to do exactly the same thing
Yeah.
because we're geniuses. We know what we're doing. This is somebody who is drunk on the smell of his own farts.
Yeah. Random Rick says, you could hang out at your crib alone and go bowling and lag out.
Yeah, pretty much. The Random Rick Reviews says they have to download ideas into Zuckerberg. Pretty much. Yeah. Corey Wallace says, I'm still waiting on the Wii U too. Oh, yeah. Another failed thing. Anyway, so bottom line, another 100 people lost their jobs because of a horrible idea with a guy that spent way too much money trying to convince us that it was good. And the problem is not enough masculine energy. And they need to bring back better performance management. Enough said. Anyway, that's my story. What's your next one?
Well, let's continue with the bad news.
Let's.
Polygon.
This one hurts. This one really hurts.
A site known for like journalism and like
really good
thoughtful
journalism.
reviews sold to Valnet, which is a clickbait, not quite AI slop, but basically digital sweatshop company. And nearly all of the staff immediately laid off. Naturally. And what's so infuriating about this is like people know what Valnet is. It's not there was a story a while ago about how writers work for pennies and they just churn out things after things. And the fact that Vox Media sold Polygon to them almost feels malicious.
Yeah.
Like it almost feels like you sold it off to someone that you knew would gut it and you didn't care.
When was the last articles written?
I don't.
Let's see, May 3rd.
Yeah, look at the latest. Yeah, May 3rd, which is when it all went down. It all went down
10
on
fun
Friday.
Misfit superhero team ups to watch after Thunderbolts. Who wrote it? Does it even have a byline? Oh yeah, Kevin Stewart. Who's Kevin Stewart? Oh, there's all the stories.
Kevin Stewart must be new.
Yeah, there's the latest articles by Kevin Stewart, and it's that one article. Let's take a look, see what else is there. Come on.
Yeah, what else is in the latest?
Switch
2's built-in storage
can only fit 4 AAA games by Cameron Faulkner on May 3rd. Cameron is the commerce. Okay, it looks like someone who.
Okay, so he looks like he was probably there for a while.
Yeah, he's been there. So
he's probably no longer there.
Yeah, he has 47 pages. Yeah, so that's probably someone that is no longer there. Let's see. May 2nd, Thunderbolts post-credit scene are where the first real win for Marvel teasers in years by Zosha Millman.
Yeah, I think I've read stuff by Zosha before.
Yeah, she's been there. So she's gone.
Yeah, and just like I said, it feels malicious, and to have all those people.
Those are probably articles that were in the can already waiting because they write ahead of time, especially stuff that is not timely. They just have these as fillers sitting a file in the can, ready to go in case that they need to fill some space.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just depressing to see yet another gaming site sold to what is an obvious clickbait company. And just to have it get gutted and like, yeah, everyone knew this would happen when you sold it, yet you did sell it, which proves that Vox Media didn't care. And I did see someone on Blue Sky had said, I think it's time to start worrying for The Verge. Because
it's kind of the last man standing.
People have said Polygon was profitable. It wasn't like Vox Media was losing money on Polygon. It was a profitable endeavor. That's what made it attractive to buyers. And so Fox Media was willing to get rid of that. It feels like they could also get rid of The Verge. It feels like Fox Media is the new Vice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it did seem like it was done with prejudice.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they would be angry at Polygon.
I don't know. Maybe it's not malice. Maybe it's just complete indifference that is so extreme it feels like malice.
Also, do we know how much they spent on it?
I don't think so.
It could
I
have been a
couldn't
lot.
find anywhere.
It could have been a lot. Because one
That's
of the things,
probably, yeah.
yeah, that Valnet does is it gets those like I want to say blogs. They're kind of gaming blog posts.
Yeah, it's like Collider, Movie Web, Game Rant, Screen Rant.
Right. And then they just fill it up with junked up ads
Yeah,
everywhere.
they churn it out.
Right. So it's not really people that are being enthusiasts about it. It's just clickbait. It's just churn and burn. Just get, 10 best. I think it's no surprise that, the most recent article out of them is
A top 10
10
list.
fun misfit superhero team up movies to watch after Thunderbolts.
Top 10 lists are like the easiest clickbait shit to produce.
Absolutely. So, and that's what you're going to be seeing on Polygon.
Yeah.
A lot more of. Yeah, I just, it's late stage capitalism.
Well, on that note, Giant Bomb was also gutted
Yeah.
by their clickbait parent company. This happened the same day. Apparently they are owned by Fandom, which, if you know Fandom, they create a bunch of wiki articles that before I knew what Fandom was, years ago, I'd be playing Dark Souls 3 and I'm like, well, you know what? I want to look up how to get this item. And I'd get a Fandom link, came up in the Google search, clicked on it. Universally terrible. Like, just, they purport to be a site for wikis. Terrible wiki. Terrible. Like, it's just a absolute shit of a website. And apparently they had put out some brand safe guidelines. And the last Bombcast that was actually deleted from the feed, but has been saved on YouTube, had a bunch of the people of the now at Bombcast making fun of those new regulations. Like, oh, can we say that? Is it brand safe? Who knows? Just like taking the piss out of it completely. And as a result, all publishing, basically the whole site has been put on hiatus. It's been put on pause while they go through what did the company say? Like a strategic reconsideration.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the article by Brad Lynch about how it's happening. Regarding the state and the status of staff, we still don't have a complete picture. Grubb has formally announced he's no longer an employee. Mike Minotti has stated he will no longer be contributing to any Giant Bomb content. However, he wishes love to everyone who is still working here and at GameSpot. Turbo Sean has announced Fandom is no longer employing him, and he has a Venmo and PayPal account for people willing to support them. Nikki is also links for support here. Beyond that, everything else is a massive question mark. So, episode 888 of the Giant Bomb cast is not coming back. As Grubb explained, even before he announced he was leaving Giant Bomb, the decision to pull the episode was not made by Giant Bomb staff, but not bringing the episode back was their call. While Grubb has confirmed that while he will no longer be part of Giant Bomb, he still has friends working here and will avoid talking about Fandom in the future. So if you do seek him out, be compassionate and understanding. Giant Bomb Discord is an unofficial platform and has formally disconnected from the site and Fandom. You are still more than welcome to join. And for the foreseeable future, DToast will be there to resolve any site-related and customer service issues. The wiki is not shut down, but is instead locked down. Fandom triggered this to prevent vandalism. The message I got when I asked was, "This is less about the community meeting a requirement and more connected to a presently unknown timeline."
Hmm.
So yeah, there's a very, very
I do
in-depth
like.
article.
Hang on, wait. Scroll down a little bit. I was reading ahead. Keep going. Oh, wait. Okay. If there is something you can do to provide some catharsis, Toast, who I assume is like a moderator, told me that you are all welcome to use the support ticket system to share how you feel, as long as it is done without threats of violence. So
I know the
basically,
last thing you want to do is work within a fandom-based system. However, if you can find it within you to share your hurt and anger, I know some people are willing to use and present your words as signs that things could have and should have been done differently.
So I hope that ticket system gets flooded.
Oh yeah, I would imagine after this came out yesterday,
Yeah.
it's flooded.
And so between these two things, like Giant Bomb getting gutted by their shit parent company and Polygon getting gutted by their new
And
shit
journalism getting beaten in the Kentucky Derby, can we also speak about that? Journalism is dead.
journalism was named the horse?
Journalism was the favorite horse to win the Kentucky Derby.
Oh my god.
And he got beat. What was the name of the winning horse? It would be hilarious.
There is no such thing as satire.
It was late stage capitalism beat it. No, I wasn't. Let me see. Who won Kentucky Derby? Who won Kentucky Derby 2025? It was Sovereignty.
Yeah, you know what? There's a metaphor there.
They're
Journalism losing to
absolutely
sovereignty.
to sovereignty. Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's your winners, and I'm not joking. It is Sovereignty, journalism, and Beza. Not Bezos, but Beza.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's hard to like just not feel like there's no future in games journalism.
No.
Or rather, the future has changed. And basically there's no future in written games journalism. There are good YouTube channels like providing really interesting criticism, really interesting analysis, but like YouTube is where it is now. Video criticism is it. The written word is dead.
Yeah.
We will anyone who knows how to write will eventually become a sought after scribe in our illiterate future.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily going to be a sought out scribe. Somebody's still got to write the scripts of these sites. But yeah,
no,
I mean,
AI will do that.
Point. Yeah, it's I get it. I went through that level of grief when my job disappeared as a journalist, the job that I loved more than anything, the job where it's like, I have found my calling. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to write for newspapers. I love this. I live for this. And I fell into this job, and it was the greatest thing I ever did. And then the internet came and killed newspapers. And then YouTube came and killed the internet, killed the, written news, internet news sites. And it just became, I've watched it. I was there
Google
in the day.
News.
Google News has killed newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now, Google's AI, presumptive AI, when you say, how do you, or what was, like we literally just did 10 seconds ago. Who did I look? It was Google. Google presented this to me. I could have gone to any of these newspapers, but no, I did not. I just asked Google, and Google gave me the answer. So I don't need to go to any of those newspapers.
So they don't get any money.
No money from that. Yeah. So this is a shame. But yeah,
Well,
it was not a great week for a lot of good people.
No. So I have to like just rinse our mouth out. I have a couple fun stories here.
Let's see, what was this? Journalism narrow defeat at Kentucky Derby led to fans all making the same joke. Okay, I'm gonna look it up right now. Journalism. Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah, SI journalism narrow defeat.
SI journalism narrow defeat. There we go. I am pulling it up. Here it is right now. It says journalism lost today, literally, at the 151st Kentucky Derby. Sovereignty won the road for the roses over pre-race favorite journalism. Sovereignty, who entered the race with a 9-1 odds, pulled ahead of the 19-horse pack alongside journalism as they rounded the race's final quarter-mile stretch. Sovereignty was too much for journalism and the third place finisher Beza to keep up with, winning the muddied Derby track handily. Journalism became the apple of race fans and journalists' eyes as the Derby heavy favorite, and the horse provided a rooting interest in a potential win for journalism and as an industry for many media members who write and report on sporting events without bias. Journalism, the horse may have provided the unique opportunity, though, for some media members to have a tiny bit of rooting interest because, after all, they are rooting for the industry. After journalism's narrow defeat at Churchill Down, onlookers and plenty of professional journalists made the same joke with a lot of self-deprecating humor. It appears my parents were right. Journalism doesn't pay. You don't get into journalism to make money. Journalism, sovereignty defeats journalism. Tale as old as time. A dark day for journalism. The year is 2025. Journalism has officially been defeated. Me retweeting every goofy tweet about journalism losing today.
Oh, that's loud.
Sorry. Yeah, that's them retweeting every goofy tweet about journalism losing today. Journalism losing feels a little too on the nose. No. Today's America learned yet again, journalism doesn't pay. Yep. Thank you for that. That's actually kind of hilarious. Thank you for finding that, AC Wraith. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
He also said, that Warframe moved their wiki from fandom to their own servers in January. Well, good for Warframe.
Good for them. They knew. They knew what was happening.
And then, you had said Corey Wallace and EA and Ubisoft killed gaming.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
No, EA just killed Titanfall.
Yeah. So,
okay, so I have some of
anything that makes
stories.
me not want to just go, stick my head in an oven today.
Okay, this was from last week, but I thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So Sydney Sweeney is set to star in an Outrun movie from Transformers director Michael Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
oh God,
there are.
I forgot who the Transformers director was.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
And this is mainly just a headline. Look, movie rights get sold all the time. And normally it wouldn't really be much of a story if you have, yes, this popular actress is set to star in random ass video game movie by director. Except that a day later, I saw this headline. Sydney Sweeney to star in split fiction movie from Wicked director. That apparently the movie rights for split fiction was sold, and John M. Chu, who directed Wicked, was in talks to direct with Sydney Sweeney to star. And I just thought, wow, that first headline really feels like a Mad Lib.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to prove it, you get the same Mad Lib.
Yeah.
Will either of these movies come to fruition? I doubt it. But it was really funny to see them back to back.
Mm-hmm. Sydney Sweeney to star in
Expedition 33 movie from Deadpool and Wolverine director.
Oh, I'd see that.
Oh God, that would be a crime against art.
All right. Let's see. What else do I have? All right. We have not talked about the other gigantic news that dropped this week.
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that.
GTA 5 was delayed.
I mean, Yeah, GTA 6.
6. Sorry, sorry. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. I was going through my head like 1, 2, 3, Vice City. Sorry.
And like I saw that, and I feel like the internet just did a collective. Yeah, okay.
No, well,
The
not
internet. The internet.
Yeah.
All the fans, everyone was like, you know what? We're cool. That's okay. You can come out and look, they got a date, May 26th. We got an actual date.
Mhm.
And I
In
think
fact,
Steven.
after the announcement, the moderators of the GTA subreddit locked down the subreddit. Because they were very, very concerned about what was going to happen in the subreddit. And GTA subredditors were surprisingly not angry. Those in the thread, I think what they did is they created a single thread
Okay,
for
yeah.
everybody to vent and then lock down the rest of everything else so it wouldn't just be all splattered all over the page.
That makes sense.
It went on temporary lockdown, had this giant mega thread, and pretty much people went on there and were like, okay.
Yeah. Everyone's like, you know what? There's a
Damn,
lot of
it's
good games
great.
coming out this year.
They're just a little bit bummed out, but at least, they got a fresh glimpse at the game to help them feel a little bit better. But somebody said, damn, not even some screenshots to soften the blow. I guess the marketing campaign won't start until late 2025 now at the earliest. Somebody else wrote, thank God they're finally officially saying something.
Yeah.
Been feeling like GTA 6 was turning into a myth. LOL. 2026 is a wait, but at least we're not coming in the dark, not completely in the dark anymore. So people in the fans were like very pragmatic about it. Like, okay, we'll wait. We've been waiting this long. It's a couple more months. It's all right.
Yeah.
Now, Take-Two investors. They are not happy at all. Oh no. Oh, they were let's see, where is it? Where did I write it? The Take-Two had to release a press release that was specifically aimed at investors because of the mass screaming of the investors who were expecting a big payday for Christmas this year. In it, let's see. In fact, I'm reading this because it's such a good line out of VG 24/7 article about it. Take-Two has put out a press release specifically aimed at its investors who've all probably crashed their mega yachts in a panic about having to wait a little bit longer for this big windfall. They all definitely need to avoid having to sell their fourth supercar. Quote, this was coming out of that. We support fully Rockstar Games taking additional time to realize their creative vision for Grand Theft Auto 6, which promises to be a groundbreaking blockbuster entertainment experience that exceeds audience expectations. While we take the movement of our titles seriously and appreciate the vast and deep global anticipation for Grand Theft Auto 6, we remain steadfast in our commitment to excellence as we continue to release our phenomenal pipeline. Well, there's something. Oh, there's the name of the episode. Releasing our phenomenal pipeline. No, that is not a euphemism for anything.
I have a phenomenal pipeline.
Let me tell you, at 6'10", Chris has a phenomenal pipeline.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we continue to release our phenomenal pipeline, sorry. Now it's hitting me. As we continue to release our phenomenal pipeline, I've lost where it was. Where was it? I put it somewhere.
It was that phenomenal pipeline.
I lost it. Where is it? I scrolled down. I was laughing so hard I actually moved the page. As we continue, I'm not going to read it again. We expect to deliver multi-year period of growth in our business and enhanced our value for our stakeholders. So essentially they had to calm the stakeholders down because they were expecting that this year there was going to be a big payday. And The Take-Two stock sunk 10% on the news of that.
Which is wild because, look, man, now that you wait a little bit longer, you can absolutely charge $80 and no one will bat an eye.
No one will bat an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but the thing is that they were expecting it to be during Christmas, and that is the problem. Is it's coming out on a March date, and they're not
No,
going to hit the
that's
Christmas time because honestly, and this is just me kind of opining. I don't know how much difference 5 months will make at the end of this year, but I have a feeling if the economy avoids a recession, which does not seem very likely, I think we are absolutely going to see a 2008 level recession, if not worse. If we can recover, the more time that they have, when it's going to hit hard in over Christmas because that's when we expect the most amount of goods to come in. I think by May, things may have at least found somewhat of a good point, depending on how many people lose their jobs.
I feel like if we enter a 2008 recession, GTA 6 will be the one game that comes out of it unscathed.
Exactly, because that's one game everybody will buy. Exactly. They will not buy all the other games, but they will buy that one. They will save their money so that they can afford. They will save their Christmas money so they can afford it in May.
See, what they got to do is open pre-orders for Christmas.
Oh, Jesus, that's a genius idea.
Yeah.
That is a absolutely genius idea. Because people will absolutely pre-order it, and they will give those pre-orders as gifts.
Yeah.
Really good idea.
Oh, baby, what a phenomenal pipeline you have. I'll take 3.
Release the phenomenal pipeline!
What kind of stake are they holding? What are these stakeholders holding? Porterhouses? Tubes? Fillets? Phenomenal pipeline is going to be like
releasing a phenomenal pipeline for a very long time. Where's Coley when we need him?
Oh, yeah.
Coley moment. All right. So yeah, there's the 3 stories that I had based on. Oh, here's a question. Okay, GTA delay. I mean, how many games were avoiding September?
Yeah, I feel like we are now going to see a flood of games getting actual release dates.
And guess, conveniently, and just I honestly think it was probably just luck. Borderlands, Randy Pitchford, announced that Borderlands 4 Borderlands 4 was moving up a week in September so that it wouldn't be in the week of, but that is releasing in September. That makes, I believe, currently the biggest release on that day. That month. That's going to be the big release currently in September is Borderlands.
Okay.
So the fact that he didn't move off entirely, he moved it away from the same release week, but he moved it a little bit sooner. But just a little bit, because I'm sure he would have wanted to move it more if he could, but he didn't. Thank goodness, because now they're the biggest thing coming in September.
Yeah, because Ghost of Yotai is in October.
Yep. Nobody released shit in September. In fact, didn't they move Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 sooner?
Yeah, they moved it. They moved it up a week in February to get out before Assassin's Creed, Pirate Yakuza, Civ 7, and something else that I'm forgetting about.
Yep. So it wasn't GTA, but there was a lot of stuff that was just.
Yeah, what is set to come out? I want to see January, March. Let me scroll. I'm on Wikipedia and I want to see what games don't have release dates. There's nothing announced for November or December.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing. But you know there's going to be a GTA. Not GTA, a Call of Duty.
Okay, we're looking at September. Oh, that's just
Okay, September has Hell Is Us. That has an announcement. Marathon. Oh yeah, boy, those Marathon alpha feedback was kind of mixed.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of people saying, "Hey, the shooting feels really good," and you expect that from Bungie, but just
Yeah.
everything else was people
Yeah,
going,
Hell
"Is
Is
this good?"
Us, Damon Ex Machina, Terminator 2D,
Mm,
Borderlands 4, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, Marissa of Valire Top Mountain, Marathon. Yeah, Marathon might actually stand a chance. And
what are the big
Yakuza
ones that have
Flatland.
no?
That's it. This is all of September right now. Borderlands
Yeah, well,
right now is the belle of the ball.
I'm looking at big. Oh, Crimson Desert. Oh, Chronos. Okay,
Where?
Crimson Desert. These are games that don't have release dates. They're projected to come out in 25, but with no release date.
Right.
Chronos: The New Dawn is the new horror game from Silent Hill 2 developer Bloober Team. Crimson Desert is one of those. This is coming from a new, I think it's China. I think it's a Chinese developed game that like looks really fucking cool. Uh, there's a new Dying Light.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chronos.
Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is supposed to come out
Mhm.
this year, and it doesn't have a release date. John Carpenter's Toxic Commandos, the John Carpenter branded Left 4 Dead-esque game.
Frostpunk 2 doesn't have a release date.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, Little Nightmares 3 doesn't. Mecha Break doesn't. That's supposed to be like a live service mecha game. Ninja Gaiden 4 doesn't have one.
Ooh.
Sinking City 2. That's right. I liked that one. Sinking City was
Manor
really good.
Lords. Manor Lords doesn't wait. For
Banner
Windows.
Lords?
Manor Lords for
Oh.
Windows, I guess it is.
Oh, the
Metroid
Outer
4 Prime,
Worlds.
Metroid 4 Prime 4. Oh, but that's for the NS.
Yeah. Outer Worlds 2. That's Microsoft's big game for the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there's going to be a Wolf Among Us 2.
Really? Who's putting it out? I remember years ago they said that they were going to bring it back.
I think it's Telltale. It's the new Telltale, not old Telltale.
Right.
This is Telltale in name only.
Star Wars Outlaws, but that's for the NS too.
Oh yeah, that came out. So yeah, there's a number of big games still left to come out this year that don't have a release date, and I bet you will be getting a release date for a lot of those in the not too distant future.
Yeah, and a lot of them are going to be in September and October and November.
Yeah.
That would never have considered that at this point.
Yeah.
So was it the Wolf Among Us?
I was looking at
I don't see the Wolf Among Us.
oh god damn it. I was on Game Rant. Fucking Game Rant. Fucking Valnet got me. Google. They gamed the Google things.
No Wolf Among Us. I knew that was too good to be true.
Okay, wait. I'm looking at GameSpot now. To be announced. Let's go to that and let's scroll to the bottom of
why didn't you just scroll down on the Wikipedia page?
I was there. Oh, that's right. We've got Wu Chang Fallen Feathers and Tales of Arise. Oh no. There was another one. They're like two.
I'm not seeing it there.
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, and then it's Tales of something. Oh, it's the Altars is another big one that doesn't have a release date.
There's Trails of the Sky first chapter.
No, it's not that. It was a game that had a really interesting trailer
Tales
at
of
the Game
Sekyu?
Awards.
No, that's Windows only.
Can anyone in the chat remember? That was I'm thinking of the game that like took place in the modern world, but it was all funky. It like kind of Doctor Strange. The lady went up and started walking on the side of a building. It's very surreal. Oh, what the hell was that game called? 2025. Is it not Tales? Is it Trials? Oh God.
Wouldn't that give Edie the chance to curse it with the collector's edition purchase? Probably. You know what? I'm willing to curse it just so I had that stuff because that's swag I'd want. Yeah, I'm not seeing this. Oh, Solasta 2 is coming out. Cool.
Okay, wait. Fantasy, Game of Thrones, Blades of Fire, Onimusha. Oh, Lost Soul Aside. No, that's not what I was thinking of. Is that what I was thinking of? Lost Soul Aside? I think that's what I was thinking of. Okay, no wonder I got it really wrong.
I'm not seeing it in the Wikipedia.
No, Lost Souls Aside has a release date. It's coming in May.
Okay.
Oh, coming this year. This month. Yeah, Hell's House, Terminator, Borderlands Marathon, Ghost of Yurtai, Double Dragon, Vampire the Masquerade.
Killing Floor 3 is also coming. I should
Yeah.
say it doesn't have a date.
Oh, hey, on Polygon,
Mhm.
The Wolf Among Us 2 is on their upcoming games for 2025 list, which was last updated April 2nd, before the layoffs. So I believe that game probably is coming.
There's the trailer.
You're listed here as a private investigator. What does that sort of work entail?
Depends on the night.
Oh,
Most
it
nights
looks
it's just
just
watching, waiting for a
perfect.
slip up.
Mm.
I know, someone gets greedy, someone gets brave.
And that's what you were doing the night of the incident.
Yeah. Took me weeks to track them down.
Oh, I cannot wait. I
They
cannot
hadn't
wait.
cast so much as a shadow.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, that's happening, and I'm good with that.
Well, point is, there are some good, interesting games coming out this year, which brings me to my happy, positive, good, heartwarming news story of the week, which is that Clair Obscura Expedition 33 is setting all sorts of fucking records.
Really?
It is like the highest rated game on Metacritic ever, of all time.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna pull it up. Let me hold a second. I'll pull it up right now. I
Okay,
got it.
okay. Yeah, I think if you like go to games,
No.
oh, maybe is it not Metacritic? Is it OpenCritic? It was one of those. Was best games of all time. Oh, it's not on that one too. What was the article? Oh, okay. It's the highest rated game of 2025, but it's the highest user scored game on Metacritic. Yeah, the highest rated user scored game on Metacritic of all time.
No.
Is it not anymore?
User score. Wait. No, it's yes. Number can you not sort it by it's giving that's the total Metascore. Stellar Blade has the highest. It comes in at number 8.
Wait, no, they have higher Metascores.
Right, but that's the Metascore is the Metascore. It's showing the Metascore when you look at the user score.
No, but if I look at if you click through, you can see the user score on Clair Obscura is 9.7. But if you click through to Stellar Blade, you can see that the user score is 9.2. So that
Oh,
ranking is wrong.
yeah, that ranking is wrong.
Anyways, so it's probably still the highest rated user scored game. Highest rated game of this year, high enough that the French president, Emmanuel Macron,
Macron. Yeah.
basically gave it a shout out and was
Mhm.
like, hey, you did this and it is unapologetically French. And it's other people have said it, but it's nice to see a politician acknowledging like the artistic integrity and the worth of a video game. Like, hey, you made something that represents a culture and it's getting worldwide acclaim. That's really awesome.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, where is it? Trying to find it. There we go.
AC Wraith. Yeah, that's not true if it's 92 Metascore. It has dozens of games are higher than that. But if we're talking about user score, yeah, that's actually true.
And here it is.
Yeah.
Million examples.
I mean, we could probably find a translation instead of trying to read in French.
But yeah, he got it. The creators of Expedition 33. Bravo, Sandfall Interactive, and all the creators at Expedition 33. You made rayonner l'audace et la créativité en français. En français. I don't know what rayonner l'audace and the creativity and the French and the creativity of the French.
Okay. 1 million copies and to date, one of the best rated games in history. And yes, it's French. Congratulations to Sandfall Interactive and all the creators of Expedition 33. You are a shining example of French audacity and creativity.
Audacity. Yeah. Yep. Yes, you are the Rene. Yeah, shining.
Yeah. Also, you know what? It's kind of interesting to me that this game came out from France, critical acclaim, sold really well. Before then, we had Kingdom Come that like sold really well from it's not Ukraine, Poland. And then before that, we had Wukong from China come out, sell really well. And before that, we had Baldur's Gate from Larian.
Larian's where?
Somewhere in the Europe.
Okay.
Somewhere in Europe. Somewhere not in the U. My point is they're all not in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, US is kind of losing the game.
Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah.
US has Fortnite and PUBG and Apex Legends, although maybe not for that much longer.
Mm-hmm. And Perfect Dark.
Yeah, Perfect Dark. Look, US has GTA.
Roblox.
Actually, no, I take that back. US does not have GTA because that is a British company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if you want to look at how globalism works, look at gaming. Gaming is, to be honest, a complete, I don't want to say even playing field, but certainly much more even playing field than anywhere else. That is what a completely free global economy looks like.
Well, and I think
every countries like Poland can make the best-selling game of 2024 hands down.
And I think like that's part of the issue is with US development. Like there's all the talk of like, hey, gaming in the US is a shrinking industry. Like I talked about in that presentation like a month ago. And part of that is the rise of game development in all these other countries. And we're seeing that now is that a lot of these high-rated games are not coming from US developers.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I'm sure there's still a lot of US developers that I'm just like ignoring at the moment if I actually look through a Wikipedia. But yeah, it's nothing that I've played recently. That's for sure.
Yeah. And completely sort of relevant side note, we'll talk about how these tariffs are meant to bring back American manufacturing, which is a great idea. Recent poll taken about how people believe that what people's opinions are about bringing manufacturing back to the United States. And something like 70% of people asked in the United States asked in this group, polled, said, yeah, absolutely. We want more manufacturing brought into the United States. We need to make more things here so that we can thrive better like we used to. And then they asked them, would you take one of those jobs? 19% said yes.
Well, I did see that. I believe it was Florida, because naturally, they were trying to lower the working age because they were like, we need to get kids working.
Yeah, because they've run out of people to work there.
Yeah.
all the Hispanics that came down because everybody speaks Spanish in Florida, they all fucked off, and you know where they're at? They're working in our fields in California.
You see, if you can't have immigrants to lowball, if you can't exploit immigrants, who's the next easy target? Exploit the kids.
Exploit children.
There is. It's just hope none of them lose a hand in the
economy, and it's something that we have to come to terms with. This economy was built at its very earliest stages on exploited populations of human beings, and has continued to have exploited populations of human beings.
Yes, it coming around to
until
kids.
Today.
It's just
we
full
still
circle.
Exploit certain groups of human beings in order to make ourselves comfortable. And the thing is, we act like we haven't. Like it was such a great time back when we made manufacturing here. There were people being exploited.
That's because
to get to that place.
Now we exploited people in other countries, so we didn't see it.
Right. And that was the whole thing about exporting all of our manufacturing to places like Mexico and South America, because we could exploit without actually seeing that we were exploiting.
And it was cheaper for those companies, because I think I saw, if you did make an iPhone in the US, it would cost like $2,000 more.
Yeah. And actually, I read an article about how there, back in the day when Steve Jobs was alive, that there was a discussion at some dinner between Barack Obama and was it Barack Obama or Steve Jobs? Whoever was the president when Steve Jobs was alive at the time.
Okay.
And he had said, hey, what do we need to do to bring iPhone manufacturing into the United States? Because they've wanted iPhones to be manufactured in the United States. And they said, it's not possible. It's not possible to make. Even if you threw money at it, it is not possible to make iPhones in the United States. And he gave the example that we had some kind of design change that needed to be made, and they were able to retool all of the casings. It was something to do with the case. They were able to retool the case in something like 24 hours, something that we don't even possess. Not only the equipment, we don't possess the people that know how to retool like that. And we don't have workers that will get up in the middle of the night and work 17 hours days because they need to retool this instantly. And when they retooled it and they created the new casings, they went to the dorms of the manufacturing where all of the workers that were putting together these iPhones, and they woke them up in the middle of the night and they said, we need to start manufacturing these new retooled cases. So we need to pull apart everything we've got and put them in the new cases. They woke them up 1,900 people in the middle of the night to wake up and go to work for a 17-hour day, taking all the cases apart and putting the new cases on them. He goes, that you couldn't get American workers to do that. Not even the actual like manufacturing. Beyond that, you can't get people to work like that in the United States, and you can in Asia. That's the whole mindset.
If you gave them free Arbyes,
He says if he gave him free Arby's. Oh man, he just wants to put Arby's into every episode. There's got to be at least one day one Arby's.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he is. He's totally wrong.
No,
I mean, you could give them all an Arby's, but then they would spend 19 hours, 1,900 people spending 17 hours in a bathroom. That's where you would end up.
Everyone would flush at the same time and it'd create a tidal wave through the sewers.
It would create, what was the phrase again? It would create
a phenomenal pipeline.
Phenomenal pipeline. It would release a phenomenal pipeline is what it would do.
You know what? Everyone flushing the toilets at the same time would back up a normal pipe. But we have phenomenal
pipelines. Anyway, all right. So anything else do you have that you want to hit before I shut
basically
this show off? Because I said I didn't want it to be a 3-hour show.
We're only at an hour 45. Basically, there was one other thing about Claire Obscura that Expedition 33. It launched on the same day as the Oblivion remaster was shadow dropped. And I know there was like a lot of worry that Oblivion would kind of suck the air out of the release. But the developer, Sandfall, has actually said that no, it didn't hurt us at all. And I believe Expedition 33 has sold like 1 million copies in 4 days. So it's doing pretty well. But they said specifically that having Oblivion launch kind of worked in their favor a little bit because both games were consistently brought up at the same time. And so it really just became like an RPG feast.
It became almost free advertising because everybody mentioned those two in the same breath.
Yeah, because they're two very different types of RPGs. And so there's not necessarily like a direct crossover, a competition with each other.
Like they complemented each other. Like these are the two major forms of RPGs. So
but they're also both
live.
Big RPGs. And so it just became like talk of quality RPGs.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's nice to see.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I had one other news story from last week that I just thought was interesting. And it kind of says a lot.
Okay.
The Madden game coming out this year is finally going to be the first Madden game to skip the PS4 and Xbox One consoles.
So finally they have moved all past, which is kind of honestly, given what has happened now, a really bad idea. Because if you haven't got an Xbox, like a Series X or S now, you're not going to have one. If you haven't got one before, you're not going to have one now, simply because of the price.
Yeah. Well, now's the time to buy a PlayStation then.
Yeah. I mean, what's the price difference, the PlayStation now, between the two?
I mean, the PS5 Pro is $700. I think the regular PlayStation is $500.
Yeah.
In the US, I think it's still $500. I believe they raised the prices like twice everywhere else.
Right.
But I think in the US it's still $500. No, $600.
Okay.
$599.
So here's our Xbox. Do you see the comparison with the PlayStation now?
I don't see a comparison with the PlayStation. I just see.
I mean, can you see what are the prices?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So right now I'm on PlayStation.com. The digital console, the cheapest one, is $400.
Okay, so it is $379 now for the Xbox.
Okay. The PlayStation 5. What is it? PlayStation 5 Digital Edition console bundle with Astrobot is $400. But then the PS5 console, the PS5 Slim.
The PS5 Slim
is $500? And yet, Oh, because that comes with the disc drive.
Okay, so
Okay.
then we have to look at the Xbox Series
yeah,
X
the
by comparison.
the PlayStation 5 digital edition that doesn't have a disc drive
Yes.
is $400.
And it's $549 for the Series X digital edition. The Series S
Ooh.
1 terabyte is $429.
Man, so both of the versions of discless Xboxes are more expensive than the discless PS5.
Mm-hmm.
The PS5 with a disc drive,
Right,
is
which would be the Xbox Series X,
is $500.
$599.
Oh,
So it's
$100
$100
difference.
more.
And then the PS5 Pro is
Mhm.
$700.
$729. That's a new price for the Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy.
Yeah, excuse me.
Galaxy Black.
Yeah, like I said, this is basically Xbox
no,
admitting defeat and giving up.
It's not admitting defeat and giving up. This is Xbox saying, don't buy our consoles.
True.
Buy
This is them giving
you
up
need to stream.
hardware.
You need to start streaming your games through, the LG app or the
I still
Fire
wanna that's
Stick
right, I still
or
gotta check that
something else.
out.
Yeah, the LG app. We got a notification last week that the Xbox has launched its app, Xbox app on
Yeah.
LG.
I downloaded the app, but I didn't sign into it.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded. I mean, it's not my TV, so I don't download anything yet. But yeah, it's. I think that price comparison more than anything else confirms your Tin Hat's conspiracy theory that it's not a Tin Hat conspiracy theory. Otherwise, they wouldn't make the consoles that much more expensive than what PlayStation has right now. What it is they are making a case of you don't want to buy a console. You want to buy a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
You want to stream it. You want to be on Game Pass. Game Pass is a better deal because you can have this whole thing for less than $100. Actually, it'd probably be $100 now by the time the tariffs happen. But $100, you can buy this thing and be able to stream everything you want and not have to worry about spending the $500 and having a console that is going to essentially do the same thing because it's digital because you won't have a disc anyway.
I loaded up on Game Pass before the price hiked, and I remember I spent like $120 for 2.5 years, I think.
Mhm.
And so far, I've played and beaten Adamfall and Indiana Jones on Game Pass. It is now paid for itself
Mhm.
and everything, but the price went up quite a bit in that time.
Yeah, it has.
It
And I
basically
didn't do that, and I wish I had.
it basically doubled.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see because I bought Expedition 33 on PlayStation, not on Game Pass.
Yeah, and
but
AC Ray says you want to buy a Windows 11 PC? Good point.
yeah, that's what they're also selling.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I believe this fucking thing has Windows 11 on it.
Possibly.
It has a version of Windows on it.
It does have a version of Windows. What? That's what Nick is literally holding up his brand new one. Yeah. He's got one, and I'm holding it up together. So what's the operating system on this? Is it a Windows operating system? Huh? Windows 11. Yeah, Chris says it is Windows 11.
Windows 11. Yeah. I was
yeah, and AC Wraith confirms it is. It's Windows 11. All right. So yeah, that's a bold move that they may not have made if the economic situation had been available to them when they made that decision.
Yeah.
Windows says Windows 11 on the Rogue Ally site I linked. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I think that they may be regretting that Madden is not going to come out in the PS4 and the Xbox One because anybody who hasn't upgraded to a PS4 hasn't upgraded those are not going to be getting rid of them anytime soon.
Oh man, you know what? That's also a shame because it would just be interesting and like kind of a weird, sick way to see a new $80 game for PS4.
Oh, that would be kind of
because PS4 is where we started with $60 games.
Yeah.
And to then have it end
To us complaining, oh my God, the whinging.
uh-huh.
Oh my God, when we went to $60, we lost our collective minds.
And to think that the price went up twice for that during the lifetime
During
of
the
that
lifetime,
one
yeah.
generation.
Mhm. Yep.
Huh.
Anyway, so anything else before we should close out the show?
No, that's it. That's
All
it.
right.
I'm trying to think
So,
if I had seen any really good TV shows or movies.
no, you already talked about it.
Thunderbolts was good.
Yeah.
What else?
Chris
What
just
else
came
did I
back from
see
that, so I
recently?
want to get a review of that. Send that
Oh
over
yeah,
right
it
now.
was a
So, on that note,
solid
let's
fun
close
movie.
this
Oh
out.
wait, I'm loading up the AMC app. What have I seen?
You've been listening to GameHounds episode 780. We recorded this on Sunday, March 4th, 2024. May the 4th be with you. I've been Edie Sellers, and with me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us: gamehounds.net is our website, gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We recorded this show live, and we do so every Sunday at 10 a.m. I'm sorry, at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, here on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. On Facebook, we are facebook.com/GameHounds. On YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids, GameHounds VIDS, all one word, as in videos. And also on Twitch, we are the GameHounds. We would love to have you join us. Any of those places, please be there. Or if you can't listen to us live, you can always go back to those locations. Or if you want to listen to us in your car, and you want to do it as a podcast, you can go to Apple's iTunes podcasts. We are there. Please listen to us there. I am now updating regularly that whole feed. So if you want to hear it and not have to worry about seeing our faces, you could do it there. But if you listen at any of those locations, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or iTunes, please leave us feedback. Put a little comment in the section. Tell us what you think about it, especially on iTunes, because that very much makes a difference of whether we get pumped up in the algorithm just a little bit. So yeah, please leave us some feedback, and don't forget, like and subscribe if you are on any of the video platforms. We do have a Discord. If you would like to join our Discord, we would love to have you. Our Discord information can be found in the basic information of Nick. Please stop doing this. There we go. There's the Discord information. Thank you, dear. Nick's actually putting it up there. If you're watching on the screen, it is on there. If you are listening after at anywhere, you can go to iTunes or any of these locations, and you can see a link that will take you directly to our Discord. And also, let's not forget that we are 100% Patreon funded. If you would like to become a patron, we would love to have you there too. Patreon.com/GameHounds. $1 a month is all we ask. That's 25 cents a show to help offset the subscriptions that we need to make this happen every week. Also the audio side as well. Thank you for being here. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you, Nick, for being here again. Talk to y'all later. Talk to you later. Bye.
Always happy to be unmuted.
Hey, listen, if it works, it works.
Okay, before we end,
Yes.
coffee was actually good.
We did not review the coffee.
Actually really good. I've been drinking
Coffee
it all again.
soda is good.
Mhm.
What? Why would the coffee soaps be good?
I don't know. It has kind of a chocolate taste to it, like kind of a sweet taste.
I thought it might have a chocolatey taste to it, but it's good.
Yep, I just had the whole thing.
Coffee soda is the thing. It's better than sweet corn.
Oh, sweet corn was like probably the worst. I didn't finish it. I finished everything else except for sweet corn.
That's good to know. All right, everyone. Thank you in the chat room. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Nice to see you briefly, Goalie.
Oh, Goalie was here. Hey, Goalie. Hey, go back and listen to the discussion about releasing Magnificent.
Oh, the phenomenal pipeline.
But releasing a phenomenal pipeline.
We've got some phenomenal pipelines.
You were missed. There was a Goalie moment tailor-made for you. You can back it up and just look for my face turning bright red. It was a press release from, who was it? It was from Take-Two. about their phenomenal
yeah.
pipeline. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.